a little bit super important information.
Hold on.
You had expanded critical range against the guy, actually. Well, whatever.
Duh,
You would've.
That's a very good thing to check.
Fuck! Yeah, I know. Oh, well.
You learn. Lesson 3. Alright, let's go. So, Devil of Silence is part of a subspecies called Cardinal Devils. Cardinal Devils don't have the names associated with them as you might assume. So, like Balors, Pit Fiends, stuff like that. They have names. Balors, Pit Fiends. Devils of Blank are a bit more... Well, they're rather blunt. Devil of Silence, Devil of Shame, Conceit, and so on like that. Cardinal Devils are... I guess you would say a collusion between devils and mortals. Not to say, nearly every devil isn't somehow related to mortals in some way, shape, or form, but these ones are a bit more direct than that. These devils were mortals at some point. Don't get me wrong, a lot of devils were conscripted as mortals at some point. But these ones are, how do you say, manufactured. So they lack personality. They lack wit, strategic or tactical capabilities unless implanted into them. But they're really good, like, discount soldiers. Which can be made for far cheaper than, the normal devil practice of you start at basically a pile of shit, and then it works its way up into an imp, and then that works its way up to this, and then that, and then after about a couple centuries, you have something of value. No, these ones could just be manufactured. Interesting stuff, Inferno tech, but not something you're particularly versed in. But yeah. So, for someone to have control over a Cardinal Devil like that, a mortal, rather, that's not too surprising. Again, they're like cheapo devils that you could loan out to mortals if you were an Infernal Lord. Now, if he's summoned like a Pit Fiend on you guys, then he's some real high-end shit and you guys should start crying, but... No, he got a relatively low-end creature as part of his bargain. His Nevrus bargain.
Is there any way to, like, try and track that creature with that information? I shouldn't be asking.
You could track it the same way you track any other infernal creature. The thing is, I don't know if any of you guys have that ability. So,
tag it with a GPS mark.
If only if only there's some sort of sense, like a divine one, that'd be crazy. Or like a primeval one. That'd be wild.
Wow, man, that'd be crazy.
If only we were aware of it.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
If only we had some kind of rangery sort in our group. That'd be nuts.
I know, right? I mean,
Specialize
who would do that?
I would say keep in mind that it was
I know.
unsummoned, which means it's not walking around right now. It's held somewhere. You could put him in a jar, a lamp. You could totally put anything into anything. As weird as that sounds. If you're brave enough.
Would I be able to sense what he was put into? To try and track it?
I would say roll me Arcana, but use your Wisdom and 7 Intelligence.
That's fine with me. That's higher. Let's go.
No, I'm well aware that it's higher for you, the Ranger, to have a higher Wisdom than your Intelligence. I'm well aware.
Okay, so my Arcana...
If you don't have proficiency in Arcana, you can just roll straight.
Yeah, I was just checking because I couldn't remember if I took it or not.
And I already know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to ready it right
Wait,
now.
if
Never
it's
mind.
So bad.
favored, would you have advantage?
That's a good point. Yeah, you would have advantage, I think.
Advantage on survival to track them, advantage on checks to recall information, lower DC...
It's not an intelligence check, which is sort of the misnomer on this, but I'll give you advantage, because thematically, it would make sense.
Makes sense.
Also, that's your guidance right there.
Fuck off!
You suck! You suck.
Why?
I almost
Why?
gave inspiration for that.
Why?
It's your inspiration.
I'm 10.
Or I'll give you the 3 instead of the 1 guidance. That's why I rolled a d4 for.
If
Why am I so
use my
shit?
inspiration, would she be allowed to roll again at advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, can I give her an bardic inspiration for this?
It's a bit late for that, I'm afraid.
Kirsty, do you remember that time I cursed your previous character? I'm sorry about that.
It's coming back.
Yeah, thanks.
I
It's only coming into
rescind the
effect
curse.
now.
I hereby rescind the curse on your previous character.
Uh,
So roll again with advantage, Kirsty, if Garth is willing to give the inspiration.
Yeah, sure.
Just earn more inspirations, lol.
I think this is a good use of it.
Sure. So yeah, Kirsty.
Okay, look at
Another-
that. 15.
okay.
So 15 plus 3, 18.
18. I mean, it's better than a fracking 7. So...
Really? It's almost as if it's like more than double better.
Yeah, I know,
crazy.
right?
That's wild.
Maths is bizarre like that, eh?
Me do math goodly. In terms of trying to, I guess, detect what sort of vessel it's in, you guys are only level 2, so you yourself don't have primeval mark yet. But this is the good hallmarks of you eventually earning it in due time. You try to think in the midst of the fight, particularly because you were focusing on that solemn bitch for literally the entire fight. Even when Sajar was like leaping up to like slash at it and so on. When it melted away and flew back in the same direction the spellcaster went, you recall seeing bits of paper flowing through the air, the trail rather, that it left behind. Very fine vellum with gold writing.
So I'm just writing it down. You said it was making like a trail.
Yeah, sort of like an air current would flow to, well, the outside, logically. A place with lower air pressure, higher to lower. Sort of like that.
Is there... Okay, so it went outside, you said. Okay. Is it still visible, or did it disappear?
Oh no, this was like in the span of like literally 3 seconds
Yeah,
at the end of the fight.
okay. That's fine. Oh shit, we need to be able to read what's on the bloody paper. Okay. I guess I'll just...
You know Infernal? Wait, what am I saying? Of course you know Infernal. Haha, that's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to read it. That was the only thing, because she's illiterate. So...
Well, the thing is, it's Ancient Infernal, which is... It's an old dialect of Infernal. It's very, very specific, and it's used specifically for contract making.
It's all Latin to me.
Sort of like, yeah. So, the way I describe Ancient Infernal is, imagine like the seals of King Solomon, which I have a picture of if you guys need visual reference. The intricacies of Ancient Infernal are so deep, you could add a line and you could change the tone. That's right, the tone of written message. Read in 4chan's dream, I'm sure. So when people say follow an Ancient Infernal contract, and it's like, oh, I follow it as written. Well, surprise, bitch. Intent is written into the contract, too. So you gotta follow that. It makes it immensely tricky, and immensely one-sided for people that don't know the intricacies of the language. Or it's not really a language, more of like the written script of it.
God, I love that.
It's a big fuck you to anyone that makes contracts. Devils. But honestly, you deserve it.
Yeah,
Okay, so I guess then if I'm not able to read it, it'd be like...
There you go. There's some seals of ancient seals of King Solomon.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So she'd probably recognize...
You recognize
what
it's
it
Ancient
is.
Infernal, yeah.
Yeah, rather than being able to read it. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
That's a pretty
Okay.
deep contract, though.
Yeah, okay. So if I guess I... Blah, 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 blah. What you have just said.
You blow at the group, and Lyle looks at you with a bemused smirk on his face. Very valuable
I'd like to begin
information.
by introducing myself. My name is Hydrogen. I come from
Hi, nice to introduce yourself. My name is...
I've stolen many things.
Hi, Hydrogen. I'm Oxygen. We should get together with another one of you.
Oh my god.
Get your buddy.
Wait, y'all can hear that? What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ow! I don't know.
The magic of sound.
You sound so befuddled.
Sweet. Oh, I think I know how.
And then he was muted the entire time.
We can do some follow-up investigations. He looks over at the blonde woman. This one. Right. She doesn't respond for at least a few seconds. Just stares at him. But then she eventually blinks once and nods slowly. Very good.
She doesn't seem the type. She doesn't seem the type used to taking orders. That's Garth, by the way.
I figured.
Yeah.
So what does that leave us then? I could try to make sure you aren't followed. I might try to go scrounge up some countermeasures, scrolls and things of that sort. This is your endeavor, your mission. Is there anything you would request?
Yes,
Within
there is.
reason. Oh. Let's hear it then.
We need a prisoner freed.
Beg pardon.
You heard me correctly.
There's a number of questions I'm going to ask about this. First off, why? Secondly, who? We'll start with those two for the time being.
Oh god. Marika's... Zal's a barbarian.
Zal's a
barbarian,
Marika's a
probably the most targeted. So I call over Marika.
They both, or not both, they all three of them, begin looking at each other and just, Zal just shrugs, I don't know, man. Zal leans against the wall, because this is all, Zal do Zal things. They sort of
Good man.
stand awkwardly there.
We wish to recruit these with us as well.
Lyle turned around to look at them, but as soon as you say that, he turns back on his heel and looks at you. I didn't say you guys were free to do open recruitment on the matter.
Then consider it a prolonged execution.
If I want someone dead, I won't prolong their execution.
No.
Nonetheless, you clearly have some motivation for this.
That is
Why?
correct.
I don't
We're
believe
going
it to be
need
goodwill.
assistance.
Do you think you're so insufficient yourselves?
I don't believe that we're insufficient. I just feel like none of us have the capabilities to be in multiple places at once, and it's always good to have a backup plan.
Why would you want the capacity to be in multiple places at once in such a large endeavor?
Because it is
He
such a
gestures at the
large
three
endeavor.
other people.
Because it is such a large endeavor.
Indeed.
You have 7 in your company, 8 if you take one of the people I recommended. That's already a decent college rate to travel with. 7 to 10 or 11.
And we might need to be able to do transport apart from the general distribution of supplies to and from. We need to be able to transport various people and other various objects of interest that we might need.
That would also be handled by your supply avenues as well.
Hey,
But I trust you all inquired upon.
And should we need to make egress, we have someone covering our back.
You would have each other for that, I would hope. Make no mistake, I don't trust you all to become the best of friends and become family in the very first day. I also expect you to be professional. Meaning, some of you may die holding the back. That's how it works. I'm not advocating for it, but that's just reality.
Understood. How many of us can die before the mission becomes compromised?
I don't know. It depends on which one of you dies. Man was not made equal by the gods.
Say we lose Anushka, Oriana, and Brendan. What is our chance of success?
You think it don't matter? Assuming you're across the hollow fields or deeper in the wonders wield, I will assume that you have managed to piss off every single tribe you've come across. Slim. If I assume you befriended every single tribe you came across, still very high. 50-50, I'll put it at 50-50.
Understood. And what is it if we have them assisting us?
Higher, of course, but he looks at them. More provincials, more difficulty in convincing tribes, easier to track, more supplies to send out, more frequency, more likely.
They will not need
Verdane.
supplies.
One thing that could be worth mentioning is the reason their friend got arrested in the first place. A path forward.
Correct. Very astute.
You know some detail? Enlighten me.
I turn to the three of them. Perhaps you can elaborate more on that.
Zaw just begins shaking his head like, no. Like, I don't talk to serious people.
He was bringing people south.
Yes.
A smuggler.
Correct.
A smuggler, but not a slaver, so we might actually have connections up there soon.
What if... Counterpoint. What if... all the people that they had connections with they already brought south, and they have none left in the north, except perhaps some angry people that are mad that they weren't brought south.
Can I check those? No, I don't know if they would. Actually, yeah, I was still gonna go with it. Can I check these three to see if that rings a bell in their head of just like, oh yeah, that might actually be
You
accurate.
don't need an inside check to this. They have no fucking clue.
I figured.
Remember, their friend was doing this by themselves. They weren't included in on that operation.
I believe even if that is true, which it very well might be, it still increases our odds of success.
He pinches the bridge of his nose. In your perspective, yes, or it might decrease it in the perspectives of everyone in the north that still hold quite a strong grudge against provincials.
If the North is a warren of sorts, a badger would come in handy. And
Indeed it
if
should.
it's already dug out, we need someone to navigate it.
Sajar speaks true. If they have a grudge, then we sacrifice them, give them over to those who hate them, and increase our own stand.
See Vaso and Zal and Marika were like, what?
He just
What?
Great faced as ever.
Roll me deception.
Bardic, spill yourself. Wait.
Okay. You're not leaving tonight anyways. There's supposed to be less paperwork and more orders given. The Highlanders aren't gonna like that, though.
I understand the position we put you.
He just takes a... He lets out, like, a deep sigh. He just shouts over his shoulder, Octavia, thoughts? The woman... This one, all the way on the right, gets up from her seat and interjects behind him. Is there a bar class that can give bargain inspiration themselves? Yes, there is in Tasha's. I think it's like one of elegance. Towards the higher levels of it, if I remember correctly. I might misremember.
You're probably
I think
thinking of the crit roll, Scanlan.
No,
Yes,
there
yeah.
is one.
Yeah. Regardless, besides the point. What are your thoughts on the matter, Octavia? She just looks... He's not looking at her. He's still, like, pinching the bridge of his nose. Head is downcast. Looking sort of towards you, Redane, sort of at the floor. He's not even looking at her. She's just looking at the back of his head. Like, what the fuck do you think, dumbass? I can tell by the silence you're not pleased. No, I'm not. Lovely. Okay. If I were to humbly request it of you... More silence, I say. Please? You're very bad at negotiating. I don't bother negotiating with you, Octavia. I just ask and hope it happens. She sighs and looks away. You're the one that knows the politics of this area right now. You tell me if you really want me to put it through. Is it worth it? For them? It is a fool who doubled down on their own stupidity. But a fool I shall have to be then. He turns around, looks at her dead in the eyes. Let's get it done. Very well. How fast? He turns to look at you. How soon is this happening?
I believe our supply
soon
should
you-
be on the mark.
Zal shouts, "Sooner is better!" Sooner is better. Understood. She turns on her heel and walks away. Back to her seat. I will give Oriana a history check.
Sure. Do I have guidance?
Why would you even
I'll say
speak
sure.
that evil, Garth?
Okay. I mean, I have a 0 history, so I don't have high hopes on this. 16 is a good roll.
Yes, it is. It barely passes, actually.
The skin of your teeth.
If you have skin on your teeth, you have some serious issues.
You need to see a dentist.
Been a while.
Or like a priest.
Probably a priest. I mean, tomorrow's Sunday, I'll head in.
Then they're gonna take your teeth skin away.
That's true. I mean, I'm going to burst into flames upon entry anyway, so I feel like that's probably going to take care of it first.
Holy water, vodka, is there a difference? I don't know.
I know, right?
Both burn.
I have that info to you. So, what else? A prison release. That's one. Additional people. He looks at the three of them. I guess that'd be 4, right? Not just you 3. We'll have some interviews. Impromptu interviews. We'll see if they're up to the task. It's all like begins rubbing back up there like, what'd I get signed on for? In the meantime, anything else?